To download podcasts of Get Down to Business and find out who's going to be on next week, get on my website, shalomklein.com. And now thrilled to be joined once again here in studio with Florence Hardy, the founder of Comvestor. Florence, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Fantastic. Well, access to capital is one of those things that every entrepreneur is going to deal with at some point or another. Florence, tell us how you're solving that problem.
Well, what we're trying to do is match local residents to their businesses by providing a tool by which local businesses can find out local residents can find out the businesses in their area and their loan needs, and then provide those loans for them.
So not only are you focusing on access to capital, but in reality, you're actually creating a little micro community in supporting local businesses.
Exactly. A byproduct of what we're trying to do is create brand ambassadors for the neighborhood businesses.
That's fantastic. So you are a full-time business consultant.
That is right.
So tell us a little bit about how you decided to focus your time in growing, like everybody else here in the studio, your own small business.
It's something I've always wanted to do. I had my own law practice for a while and found that most of the clients who were coming to me thought that they needed access to capital, which is sometimes they do need that, but other times they just need help in deciding what direction to take their business.
Do you think all businesses face the same challenges, or is every business sort of unique and needs its own solution?
I think that the solutions may differ, but the challenges are the same. The same common themes come up over time, and then how we address those problems is different for every client.
So access to capital, if you don't mind, share one of the stories. You could do it without names. You could do it with names if you'd like. Share a story of somebody that approached you with that need and how you're trying to help them and solve their problem.
Where most of our clients are consumer-facing businesses, whether they have a storefront or not. And in general, what we do is we try to find their ideal client or a bunch of their clients who fit their target market and then facilitate those connections.
So when you talk about local, you mentioned the term local several times. Why are you so passionate about trying to support local communities?
When you think about why people live in neighborhoods and the communities that they do, it's because of the businesses that are there. They want to walk down the street and go to the local cafe or to the local boutique. And that's a part of the business that I think the larger world is sort of forgotten because it is so small.
So in the studio today, we've got just a dynamic group of people, totally amazing people that have stories. And I guess our common theme is that we're all maybe not in the city of Chicago, but we're all in the Chicagoland area. Tell me your impression, Florence, of the Chicagoland business community. Is it strong? Do you think people are very willing to help each other?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone's very willing to help each other. The problem is that the resources are so fragmented. So one of the things that we try to do is bring all of those resources to the local business owners who might not even know that they exist.
So you mentioned resources. Give me a few examples.
For example, there are a couple of tools where you can take online classes for free. People don't know about that. There are a lot of email marketing tools that are free as well that people don't know about. As far as live resources, there are tons of workshops and seminars that people can attend, some by myself as well, that people just need to know that exist.
That's very cool, and I completely agree. Everybody has their strengths, but together with strengths, you also have your weaknesses. Some folks might be really good at marketing, but have absolutely no skills when it comes to finance. But you need both of those skills to run a business, right?
Absolutely. One of the things that I like to say, it's easy to bake a cake, but it's hard to sell it. So I try to get people to sell or train people to sell that cake.
That's fantastic. So you are connecting resources, local resources, with folks. So how long has Comvestor been around?
It's actually brand spanking new since 2015.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we're brand new. Like I said, I had my own law firm at one point and decided to switch over to this at the beginning of the year.
Okay, and what's the experience been of starting up a business? Challenging, fun?
It's both. I think the challenging part is fun, because you learn something new every day. I get to meet wonderful people, and I really get to help people. And I think that's the thing that I get most satisfaction out of.
So if you can offer one bit of advice, if our listeners remember only one thing from this conversation, one bit of advice that you can offer either in your experience of starting a business or access to capital, what would you want them to remember?
I would say that it's important to understand what your passion is, because if you're passionate about your business, it'll show to funders who might be wanting to give you money, but it'll also give you the the insight and the things that you need to push through those challenging times.
Absolutely. I tell job seekers, I meet with job seekers all the time, and when I ask them the question, I say this all the time to friends and family, I ask them the question what the dream job looks like. Almost without exception, people will say, that's the $1 million question. When they say that's the $1 million question, that doesn't answer the question. What I want them to tell me is to be able to articulate clearly who they are, what they do, and who they're looking to meet. If they can answer that question, I can help them. If they can't, then I can't help them.
Absolutely.
And businesses face that same challenge, don't they, Florence?
All the time. People think that their market is everyone, and that's not ever the case, or rarely is it the case. So when I ask you, who are you trying to meet? I need to meet people with money. Oh, well, that's not enough for me to help you. So I work with them to help shrink that market down to something that's manageable. So again, that bit of advice from Florence Hardy of Comvestor is be passionate and be able to articulate and express that passion. Great advice. So Florence, I have a feeling a lot of our listeners will want to get a hold of you, and I have a feeling we'll have you back on to talk some more about the struggle of access to capital. How can people get a hold of you? The best way to contact me is info@comvestor.com, COMVESTOR.com. And you brought your fan club with you here today. I did. He's my number one fan. My husband, Michael. He's awesome. Fantastic. Well, once again, to get a hold of Florence Hardy, get on the website, Comvestor.com, or you can email info@Comvestor.com. After the break, as promised, I'm going to be sharing some tips on how you can design that perfect business card. That's something that will help you articulate yourself. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR. Make sure you check them out, tandemhr.com. And I'm going to be sharing some networking tips, some business tips. You won't want to miss a minute of it. You're listening to the show that's all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship. You're listening to Get Down to Business.